Hello, welcome to Bloke on the Range. Active range today, there will be noise. Nothing I can do about it. So, I've just come back from Lynx Brutality in Slovenia, organised by Polar Tactical, and I took this particular lovely little garbage tier rifle of mine with me to earn my patch once more, and it performed quite well for me. But one thing I've not had a chance to do with it yet is group it at 300 metres. Now this is an ex-Slovenian Territorial Defence, Chartered Industries of Singapore, SAR-80, SAR-80, and they call it a SAR-80. This is the second model, built sometime during the 1980s, and a lot of these ended up in the Balkan independence wars. Slovenia had them, Croatia had them. Interestingly, this is the Slovenians took the automatic last round hold open out. The Croatians didn't, and I was discussing with Ian of Forgotten Weapons and Žigo of Polar Tactical why that might have been, and came down to commonality of handling with the AKs, because the AKs they had with the automatic hold open, they also took the automatic hold open out of. Then discussing with someone else who owned one of the ones with it intact, apparently it had a tendency to bounce, and I'm going to do a video on the internals and then we can talk about that. But it's a very, very, very long arm, and it's going to risk bouncing if the spring holding it down isn't strong enough. So I had shot this the Saturday before going to Slovenia, and it was zeroed for 100 meters with the normal sight setting. It's an M16 A1 style 2-position flip, which is brilliant for a military iron-sighted rifle. It was 100 meters with Barnell, which we have ascertained shoots about the same as GGG. I have GGG 55 grain to the end of it until more of that comes through. And what I'm going to do is, it's not been cleaned. This is exactly how it came back from Slovenia. I'm going to flip this to long range. I'm going to take a 6 o'clock hold on the A target, so the ISSF black dot precision target out there, and see what happens from cold. And I've got 15 rounds in there, so we'll see if there's a cold bore shot or something like that, and we'll just generally find out what's going on. Now, I'm an idiot, and I forgot to bring my sight adjustment tool. So the mean point of aim will fall where it falls, and we'll see. But the 100-meter group that I shot on an IPSC target, so without a well-defined aiming point, came out at 3.8 MOA. So let us see what this will do. Whoop. As he fails to put the magazine in. There we go. Okay. Now I'm doing my usual rest the hand, not the rifle thing. Maybe I'll explain that one of these days, but it's the old British doctrine because of slightly marginal SMLE back in the day. Okay, so that dropped right off the bottom. It registered central, but way low. Let me put a flag in. Don't have to, but I will. And bring this up a number of clicks using a cartridge, which is not as good as the tool, but you can do it. So up. I'm going to bring that up. That's got to come up about 50 centimeters, which is probably about 10 clicks. Ironically, the amount I moved it down, at the training before going to Slovenia. Well, that's actually quite impressive. I will roughly calculate what that is in minutes of angle, and we will see. Actually, these rifles group quite well. The handguard is mounted quite rigidly. Clearly, I'm holding it quite consistently. This is bog standard ammo. This isn't match ammo. This is a 1 in 12 twist anyway. So, although I have shot 62 grain FMJ in it at 300 without any issue, but I'm rather happy with that group. That is really not bad at all for a garbage tier rifle. The next question, now that group is printing high, and it's printing about 65 centimeters over where I'm aiming, because I'm aiming underneath the black, let us click that back down to the standard setting and put in another 10 round group, see how much lower it prints, and also see if it's vertically beneath. So it's interesting to see whether the two sight settings are actually vertically above each other or not. This is actually turning into a more interesting video than I anticipated, because I thought that this was going to be a bit just doing it for completeness, but let's find out. No idea how many rounds are in this mag now. So, same thing, mag in, same point of aim. So, I will have to, by editing trickery, move back to where we can see both groups, but that is basically printing roughly 30 centimeters lower and 5, 10, 15 centimeters to the right. So the thing with these M16 A1 type jobbies is that they're mounted on a thread, which is how the adjustment works. So when you turn that, it winds it left and right along the thread, and they do offset slightly, or they're supposed to offset slightly, the long range and the short range apertures, so that as it advances a quarter turn one way or the other along the thread, the whole comes onto the same vertical line. But clearly it doesn't. That's about 2 minutes of angle, 15 centimeters, it's 300 meters, 7 centimeters to the minute of angle. So it's about two, which is close enough for government work, but I kind of want a bit better than that. So anyway, what I'm going to do is set this back so that on the normal aperture, which is that one, I think, that one, I'm going to set this back down 10 clicks so that it was where it was before, so that I know that if I take this to a match, I've got a 100 meter point 0. We had a great time at Lynx Brutality in Slovenia, and there will be more content on this rifle, these giblets, and explaining. It's an interesting one. It's an AR-18 derivative, avoiding the British patent protection on the AR-18 system. It's heavier than an AR-18. It's got some very clever bits in its design. It's got some less than clever bits in its design. I find it actually very interesting, and it handles better than the sort of square brick it looks like. Yeah, 3.7 kilos of garbage tier compared to 3 kilos for a AR-18 and 2.8 I think it is for an M16A1. Anyway, I hope that was at least vaguely interesting. Thank you very much for watching this far. Thanks so much to patrons who support the channel and keep us ticking along and get us to go to cool places and shoot cool guns with cool people, like in Slovenia and Finland. And if you'd like to contribute to these silly endeavours of ours, please consider becoming a patron. And that's fine, just keep liking and subscribing and so on. So, see you again. Bye.